Good afternoon, everyone. How are you? Very good. Thank you for your time. Thank you for listening. And thank you for caring. So the reason why we're here today is to answer this question. What might we wisely teach our students during this time of radical cultural and technological change? Some might say teach art. Some might say teach history. Some might say teach coding. But as a parent and educator, the most important lesson that I teach is love your hair. So now let me explain. So in case you haven't noticed, I'm black. And in case you haven't noticed, black people often have radically different hair from our European and Asian counterparts. Not all the time, but most often. Our hair very often is not straight, not wavy, not curly, but kinky, frizzy, gravity-defying hair. And for this difference, we are often bullied. And this bullying contributes to a sense of self-loathing. Self-loathing so deep that black women spend billions of dollars on straighter hair weaves and wigs. So deep that black women put toxic chemicals in our hair and in our children's hair, children as young as 3 years old, in order to eliminate the kinks and make the hair straight. And I often tell black women, women of African descent, if God wanted us to be dark-skinned with straight hair, he would have made us Sri Lankan or Bangladeshi or, some other version of South Asian people, but we're African and we have this here. So anyway, let me tell you a story about this bullying. So this is me with my two children, Jojo and Miles, my two boys. One day I took the bigger boy, Jojo, to the barber shop. And I tried to explain to the barber, don't shave off all his hair. That's the easiest thing to do for a fidgety toddler. Don't shave it all off. The barber then proceeds to shave it all off. And when I say, hold up, what are you doing? The barber says, how can I tell you this? You have a real nigger right here. He's a native boy. He's from the tribe. This is not pretty hair. It should be shaved off. And this is a black barber, right? So he used this racial pejorative term to demean my son because of this idea that kinky hair shouldn't be seen. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. People of African descent have lost their jobs for showing their kinky hair, and black children have also been expelled from school. So this is Vanessa Van Dyke. She has puffy hair. Kids at her school were teasing her for her puffy hair, and she goes to the administrators and says, hey, they're teasing me. And the administrators, instead of talking to the bullies, they say, your hair is the problem. It is too puffy. Change it or leave. This is Tiana Parker. She wore her kinky hair in dreadlocks, and she was expelled from school because the school's policy banned dreadlocks. So this Eurocentric, and I say Europe because I'm West African, my parents are West African, and we don't typically look like this. So this, this Eurocentric notion of women having long, straight, flowing, preferably flaxen hair, and men having shorter, straight hair. It doesn't only oppress people of African descent. It can also oppress white people. So this is Sunne Kali. She's a rough and tumble type of girl. She likes to wear her hair short. Her school sent a letter to her grandparents saying that they would expel her if she did not grow her hair longer and start acting more feminine. This is Cameron Renfro. She's on the left. Sweet young lady. She decided to shave all her hair off in solidarity with her friend who was suffering with cancer, and the school threatened to suspend her because they said that shaved head for girls was against the rules. And they said that they needed these rules in order to ensure uniformity. People! Uniformity? Uniformity or sameness? That is the very last thing. That's like teaching mediocrity. It is the last thing we should be teaching our children during this time of rapid cultural and technological change. In Daniel Pink's book, A Whole New Mind, he describes the several factors that will enable different, creative, right-brained people to have a strategic advantage in the future. So what are these factors? For example, there's abundance. There are just so many different products out there, so many different messages. Do you think your product or message will stand out from the pack if it is the same as everything else? Right? There are 268,000 tweets going out per second. Is your message going to go viral because it is the same? Has the iPhone done well because it's the same as all other phones? And this is a model. Her name is Chantel Brown Young. She has experienced a meteoric rise to success because she looks different. She has vitiligo. So clearly, there's something good about being different and standing out during the modern era. So how do we teach our children this? How do we get them to have the courage to be different? So after that barbershop incident with my son, I really wanted to create a story to help him love his hair. Can I tell you the story, my friends? So the name of the story that I wrote, a children's storybook, it's called Sunne's Gift. And in the book, a creator named Niami creates 4 children to take care of the world. These children are Sunne, Earthe, Watre, and Winde. And the creator gives them all special gifts. So Sunne has the gift of the sun and has spirally hair that grows toward the sun. Earthe has the gift of the earth and has straight hair that grows toward the soil. Watre takes care of the water and has hair that flows like water. And Winde takes care of the wind and has hair that blows with the breeze. And the creator says, you are all my children, made in my image. Honor each other and honor your gifts. And in the beginning, things are going great, right? Sunne does a wave dance every morning and evening to make the sun rise and set. And by doing hip circles every afternoon, Earthe puts nutrients into the soil. And when the soil becomes dry, Winde does finger jiggles. Watre does finger jiggles to summon the rain. And Winde blows out gaseous gusts of air that cause the seeds to travel to new places. All is going well, but then one day they go to a river. And for the first time, they look at their reflections. And it occurs to them that Sunne looks different. Earthe, Watre, and Winde all have hair that grow down. But Sunne's hair stands tall. And they're confused about this difference. And they make me jealous. Why did Niami give Sunne the special hair? And sometimes they just want to fit in. So they all start bullying Sunne. Your hair is ugly. Your spirally twists look ridiculous. You look bad. Sunne's heart sinks. Sunne doesn't want to be different, ugly, ridiculous, or weird. So Sunne picks up a stick and begins to beat every spiral of hair to make it straight. And with each slap, Sunne's head aches and Sunne feels weaker. But Sunne continues. But when the last spiral of hair becomes straight, all of the hair falls out. Darkness descends upon the land. Sunne, Earthe, and Watre look at each other in horror. That's not the whole story, but that's all I'm telling you today. So I wrote this story because I wanted my children to love their hair, understand its beauty and its magic and its power. I wanted them to love their hair, love their skin, love themselves in a society that often does not place value on their hair or their skin or their lives for that matter. But is this simply about hair? No. So as people of African descent rid themselves of Eurocentric beauty standards and come to embrace their kinky hair at all lengths, it is really symbolic. It is really a metaphor for the lesson, the universal and essential lesson that we must all learn, which is to figure out what makes us different, what makes us different physically, mentally, emotionally, intellectually, spiritually, culturally, ethnically. Figure out what makes us different. Figure out what makes us deviate from society's norms. And we figure that out in order to bring forth a unique gift to give the world. And as we all do that, and we stop bullying each other because of difference, but rather celebrate each other because of difference, then like Sunne, like Earthe, like Watre and Winde, we can bring forth our unique gifts to benefit the world. Spread the message. Thank you.